Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to The Unstoppable Singer. I'm Danielle Tucker. I am a singer, a vocal coach, and lead singer of the Mighty Untouchables band. I produced and hosted the Pandemic Proof Singer Summit 1 and 2, and now I'm producing and hosting The Unstoppable Singer, which is what you're watching tonight. And this is an interview style show where I follow the lives of real life professional singers who have made some incredible achievements in their lives and careers. And we cover just about everything from voice work, making money, booking gigs, songwriting, recording, session work, and a lot more. But we really like to focus on going from surviving to thriving in this business and safeguarding our careers. So if this sounds like it's for you, hang in there because I'm about to introduce my incredible guest. This is Karen Michaels, also known as the Social Butterfly. She's the creator of the Social Butterfly Group, a voice teacher at the Las Vegas Voice Teacher, and a chick singer at Karen Michaels Music. She's been helping businesses find their social zing in social media for over 5 years. She's passionate about sharing her work and approach so that others can learn from her mistakes, grow their streams of income, and be inspired by her courage. So without further ado, let me bring on Karen. Hello, my friend.
Oh, hello, my friend. Wow, that was fun to listen to and a little scary.
It's so you're so much more than that though. You have so much
Oh,
going on. And one really, really big, thing that is left out in that introduction is how you and I know each other. We're dear friends. We've known each other for,
yes.
several years now. Karen
Yes.
and I are part of a coven of witches that otherwise known as a, business mastermind to
Right,
us.
otherwise known as a business mastermind, but whatever.
Yeah, but anyways, we have this
Oh,
tight
love
group
it.
of these just incredible badass women. And Karen and I, we've both been in it from the beginning with each other, right?
Yeah, since 2020, right?
Yes,
When
yes.
we were both like, "Shoot, why did we do this?" And then, "Shoot, thank God
Shoot.
we did."
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, but man, you have been such a huge inspiration to me,
Oh my
and I've
gosh,
grown so
yeah.
much from knowing you and just, seeing all of the projects that you've just blown out of the water, and just watching the way you function, how many things you're able to handle at once, and how gracefully you do it. And
Oh my
and
god.
you're a phenomenal singer. You always have really, really cool gigs going on. So we have so much to talk about
We
tonight. I'm
do. Oh,
super
I just
excited.
have to laugh because I'm literally standing here in I don't even have my shoes on, and we're going out tonight to hear one of my besties here in Vegas sing at a jazz club. Because yes, we have very cool music here in Vegas, not just whatever it is you're thinking. And and I have no idea where my shoes are. They're somewhere. So
Oh,
that's
well,
that's organization for you right there.
hey, you know what? No shoes necessary on this
I
recording. So
know,
we're all
right?
good. Oh man, well, let's get started with the
Mhm.
fact that this is the last week of 2022. So we are closing this puppy down. Tell me a little bit about how the year went for you and maybe some highlights, musical highlights, business highlights for you.
This year, I mean, it's funny. I was thinking about that because I wrote my newsletter today and did my podcast today or yesterday. And I was like, I kind of feel like we say the same things every time. Like, I can't believe it's December, even though it does come every single year.
Does indeed.
It really does. But this year for me, I think it's just fantastic because it's to me has felt almost like normal
Mhm.
as opposed to the last couple of years which were
Right.
anything but normal. And things are opening up a little bit. I was tiptoeing into gigs. I had a fantastic gig this year in May where I was a part of the choir for Michael Bublé. It sounds so crazy to say that out loud at the gorgeous Resorts World. It was so thrilling, and he is as nice as all you all think, and as talented as I mean, just amazing, right? It was just incredible. That was incredible. With the same choir, I got to sing for the closing night with the Eagles. I mean,
Ah,
I don't even
God, come on.
sometimes I'm like, hello. It was crazy and beautiful. I love this corporate choir. It's the Michelle Johnson's Diva Las Vegas choir. It's fantastic. And I'm so honored. I love singing with them. She does all kinds of wonderful jobs and is so gracious, hires a lot of Las Vegas singers. And I'm so happy to be a part of that. So that I sing with that group. And then, gosh, I had a lot of great private and corporate events where I sing and play piano, which is truly also one of my favorite things to do because it's requests driven and it's some of the music I just love. Karen Carpenter and the Eagles and Elton John and Billy Joel and Diana Krall and music like that. So that's been so wonderful because that really was really difficult to kind of start back up because of course that was often in either in someone's private home or in the corporate event land where the casinos were really really careful about things. They kind of tiptoed into that, so I feel really excited about that coming back.
Yeah.
And Christmas was great with gigs like that too. So I just feel so excited about that. And then my social butterfly business I'm so happy. It just continues to keep going. And I have some amazing clients of all sizes, big business, small business, small individuals where it's, I'm helping people individually. I'm doing strategizing sessions with them and helping them figure out how to write their copy and how to do apps and technology, which is like, oh my God, I just love that stuff, Danielle. It's a little
I
crazy.
know. You're such a nerd.
But it's been it's been a phenomenal year of that. And I've seen so many people here in Vegas, which I mean, every city was really hard hit, but of course, I'm partial to my friends and the venues that I loved. Dangerous Curves, we had a fantastic job thank God, right before a venue that we love so dearly. They closed after
And
all this
Dangerous
year.
Curves is your all girl group, right?
Yeah, all girl jazz trio. And those girls are, in fact, Lisa Smith is who I'm going to hear tonight at Max and
Okay.
Jazz. So, and Gret is our mezzo. And yeah, oh my gosh, singing with those girls it's the dreamiest thing that I get to do. And there were even a couple nights at Michael Bublé that the three of us were there and we were like, maybe he wants Dangerous Curves now.
Yes. Opening act here. Just
Are you
saying.
busy? But anyway, yeah, all in all, I am just so grateful as I stand here in the last few days of 2020, thanking my lucky stars for everything,
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. I think it's so cool how have you have like the two major career paths that you are very, very passionate about.
Mm,
Music and singing, but
mm.
then you're also just a great entrepreneur and, have a lot, have so much passion and drive with your social media business. Um, Explain a little bit more about what you do at the Social Butterfly.
Oh, well, so I mean, it's so crazy. I was thinking about this today when I was writing something for someone, and I've always loved social media. All since it began. I was a MySpacer and a Tumblr and all those things, right?
Yeah.
And I had gotten myself a little blogging job with Nevada Mama back in the day, and writing their newsletter and writing up an article about Vegas or what have you for families. And then what always seemed to happen, and then once the iPhone came, I mean, oh my gosh, things went really crazy. But people would always ask me, like, Karen, how do I do that thing where you did the thing with the words and the picture? Karen, what are you doing to, or they would, how
Yeah.
do I always know what you're doing? And I was like, oh, well, you just do this or that. So it kind of really just started out like that. And then it really started out 100% hobby meets side hustle. And then, of course, once
Mhm.
I was taking it more seriously with Michelle's guidance, Michelle is our business coach. Michelle
Mhm.
Marquardt DeVoe of Faith Culture Kiss
Yes.
and the
She's the
Speakeasy
queen.
Cooperative.
She is the queen bee.
She is the queen bee. Our queen bee was all,
Yes.
okay, let me help you with that. And so I got a little bit of schooling. And I realized that when I took things up a notch and I really figured out my services and I really figured things out, that I was actually giving better service to the people who were now paying for it. And so what I really do is I create content, I write copy, I help people strategize what their content should and could be. I do campaigns, which is really one of my favorite things to do. So that's like 3 to 6 month campaigns. If someone's written a book or if someone has an album coming out, I have a couple of those going on right now, which are so much fun. And
Mhm.
so the biggest thing is that I try to make sure that people, that their heart and soul are coming out in it. And even a big organization like Nats, as you know, I'm their social media manager. I want to make sure that people see like I said, the heart and soul of what people and companies are doing. That's what's important. And that's what will bring them back again and again to that business or to that artist or to that venue or to that web page, is when people you become unforgettable to them. And that's my
Yeah.
goal, is that people will not forget you because of the fun things that you wrote or the graphics or the catchy things or even just the schedule. Danielle, sometimes someone has everything going on but their schedule is off because they don't know how to look at their insights. And so just by guiding them through looking at insights, we'll find this little pocket of, oh, how come I never realized X is happening? And then we'll focus
Yeah.
on that and poof. It's
Yeah.
amazing what can happen. So I
Yeah.
love that. I'm super passionate about that, as you may notice. It just makes me so
Yeah.
happy. And I don't know, there weren't even computers when I was in high school. Um, so I don't even know why, but computers and Apple and my phone and the iPad. I mean, do you even, because like, for example, in your band, is all your music on the iPad, on iPads? If you're looking at any?
Oh, as far as, like, charts and lyrics and things like
Mhm.
that? Oh, yeah, we're all on
Yeah.
iPads now.
All on the iPad, right? I mean,
Yeah.
man, that's been right. Now you can bring 1,500 songs to a gig and you're not
Game
carting like
changer. You're
50
not
books.
carrying a massive binder this big and a
Yeah,
music stand this big.
exactly. Oh my gosh. Or you can bring,
God.
like, I have the real book,
Uh-huh.
and then you can just have it sitting there. And oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
just amazing. I love technology. And it's so interesting because the pandemic really sped things up, which is both difficult
Mhm.
for, for people to see, but it's really exciting. And I'm here to help you figure that out.
Yeah. Oh, and you do such a phenomenal job at it. You really
Oh
you
gosh,
just have
thanks.
this natural ability to, like, draw out, people's voices like you were talking about and really, show them how to shine in social media and set them apart. And
Thank you.
you directly provide these services, but you also are really starting to incorporate, um, an educational, um, dimension to your business where you're really educating your clients on how to do it themselves when when you're not at their disposal to do it for them. So
Yes.
you have these, it's called the Social Butterfly Group, right?
Group. Yep. It
Yeah,
is.
tell
And
me
thank
about
you for that.
that because you have like a brand new thing going on now.
I do. I do. It literally, I opened it today and I
Yay.
sent out my newsletter today. And basically what it is super, it's a little crazy. It's super low cost,
Mhm.
but I just want I understand that hiring me one-on-one, you know, it can be not in someone's budget.
Mhm.
Um, maybe not tomorrow, maybe never, whatever. It may not just work for them, but I just want to help so many people. So this group is very, very low cost. And what happens is you can ask questions. I'm going to be giving tutorials and updates for my subscribers, my paid subscribers only, every Monday. And I think it's Thursday. I have to look at my own schedule because,
Mhm.
now it's after 5
Mhm.
o'clock. So I no longer have schedule today. So it's out of my mind and on my
Yes.
phone. But it's going to be, I did a 1.0, which is always fun to do because then you can kind of see what people really want. And what they
Mhm.
really want is, this is what I have found. It's not that people don't like templates or things or generalizations, but what they really want is, Karen, I'm doing X and I have X amount of people and I'm talking to X person. How should I do X? That's what people really want and need. And in this group, you're going to be able to email me back, chat questions, and then I'm going to do video responses back so that everyone can see and hear. And then somebody else might have a similar question. And then they're like, oh, I never thought of that. So that way, because the truth of the matter is, Danielle, and I'm not trying to talk myself out of a job, but the truth of the matter is, it's always best when you do your own social media, or at
Mhm.
the very least, when you create your own social media. Because I always tell people, I can do so many things for you, but I cannot be you. I can't go live for you.
Mhm.
I can't be your
Right.
voice. Only you
Yeah.
can do that. And so when I empower people to use social media in the way that I believe that it was originally designed, which is to share the cool stuff that you're doing in a
Mhm.
positive and happy way and in an informative and educational way, then you're going to succeed. Because, and I think I've talked about this in our group, but my favorite blog post is called 1000 True Fans. And the
Mhm.
first time I heard about it was several years ago from my teacher, Jimmy, whom I love so much. And he was like, have you ever read 1000 True Fans? And I was like, no, I have not. And so I read it. And the man who wrote that actually just did an update. I think it's like 2 years ago. And the basic premise is that you only need 1,000 followers or
Mm.
1,000 newsletter subscribers or 1,000 anything to make a real living in your passion. And that
How
number
so is that?
is, it's so doable and it's so attainable
Yeah.
instead of these 10,000, 20,000, 900,000. I mean, sure, there are people. I don't know if you've heard of the story of the girl who had 956,000 followers on Instagram and couldn't sell one t-shirt, not one.
Wow.
It's a real story. I recommend looking it up. And it's indicative of, and not that she's not cool, she's super cool. But the point is that those were followers who were just, they weren't fans. They weren't
Yeah.
in it with her, right? They were like, oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
What does she do? Oh, that's cool. And then scroll, 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 right? But
Yeah.
when we do things that connect with our audience and connect with the people that we're trying to help or educate or uplift or whatever it is that the goal is of what you're doing, that's when the magic so happens. And once I read that, I even thought that about my my music career. And it's really crazy how true that is. And how, when I realized, how many calls do I get that are actually from previous clients? Karen, are you
Yeah.
available in a month? Because I'm sure you guys know that very well,
Yes,
right?
indeed. Yeah.
With
Absolutely.
Mighty Untouchables. Do you have a lot
Mhm.
of return? I'm sure you do.
Almost. Oh
Or
gosh,
completely
I would
shut
say at this point, so many years down the road, the majority of our work is
down.
return business or out of a network of, event planners that, we've just had long-standing relationships with.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I love that.
Mhm.
See, that's
Mhm.
the game. I love that.
Yep.
I'm so happy. And I'm so happy for all you have the greatest gigs, I have to say. That Hawaii one was, I mean, that Hawaii one, whichever one I'm talking about,
It's not too
that's
bad.
good
I'm
stuff.
not complaining, that's for sure.
Right? It's
No.
not too
Yeah.
shabby, right?
Not too bad. No, it's great. We're definitely really fortunate and blessed, but
Oh, I'm
I
so
I
glad.
what you're saying makes so much sense. If we're talking about, 1,000 true fans,
Mm,
you're really talking about that's not just a like arbitrary number.
no.
It's the quality of who's in that 1,000 people and the fact that, they oops, oh, we lost our Karen. Anyway, she's going to come back. I'm sure she's going to. But anyway, I'm going to elaborate on what it was that she was saying because I completely agree with her that it's really not a matter of having quantity because your content's just going to get lost in a sea of big numbers. But when you have people who are really really dedicated and love what you're putting out there, it just takes a much lower number to really, I don't know whether it is you're selling your music, whether you're promoting your music and just trying to develop a really, really high quality audience versus one with high numbers. So, anyway, hopefully Karen will be back here very, very soon. In the meantime, I'm going to put in her links that you can find her at the Social Media Butterfly. All right. All right. I think she's trying to get back on here. Technology. All right. We're going to go on a little brief hold here while I try to get her back with us. Hang in there for me. And we're back.
I was like, what happened?
Oh my gosh. I
We
could
did it.
see that you were trying to get back on. So I'm trying to help you here.
You are
All
amazing.
right. Okay.
Woo!
So I kind of elaborated a little bit on what you're
Excellent.
talking about as far as, having a high quality audience versus, just big numbers.
Yes.
But it makes so much sense. So
Doesn't it?
as far as your social butterfly group goes, who's good for that group? What kind of people, like what lines of business? Is this
Oh,
just all creatives or is it just all walks of business? Tell me about that.
that's such a great question. So, I have helped businesses that I never thought I would help before, for
Mhm.
sure. Um, but I will say that creatives, writers, artists, musicians, teachers, those are my, they're near and dear to my heart because I
Mhm.
understand all of that the best. And to me, and it could be, I actually work with someone's assistant. So they were in my 1.0 group, and they would come to me with questions, and they would say, here's all
Okay.
the assets I'm working with. What do you think I should do? Or I'm thinking this. They would do a layout board for me, and I would say, oh, great, do this. That's a great idea. So in that sense, I've certainly worked with people's VAs a lot.
Oh,
And that
that's
just
great.
makes sense because now that's somebody who's really using their time really well. They're
Mhm.
creating the assets, right? But then they're handing it off to their VA to do like what I would call the posting and the copy and things like that. So
Mhm.
that's the perfect kind of person,
Mhm.
and all levels. I mean, it's funny. I probably shouldn't say this, but I feel like it's true. It feels like no one's really a beginner anymore, but maybe, I
Yeah.
will say Web3 and the new ways that they're doing things are probably going to make some people feel like they're beginners again.
Mhm.
The way
Yeah.
the platforms are going to start behaving, which is fantastic because it's been all about them and we are the product. And now what's going to be happening more and more is that we are in control of our own content and we will be more in control of what happens on the platforms. and
Yeah.
not so much the algorithms. So that's a
Mhm.
very happy thing.
Okay. So how could someone get involved in the group?
Oh, so I think you're gonna do like links or something,
Mhm.
but they can just go to my Instagram or my TikTok, Social Butterfly Group is either of those, or my Twitter is Techie Butterfly.
Uh,
And then I have a sleek bio, which is my like one page of links
okay.
and
It's and your Insta is social butterfly
Social Butterfly Group.
group. Okay. Got
Mhm.
you.
Mhm,
All
and
right.
then
I'm
it'll
popping
say,
that
like,
in
"Sign
there.
up for my newsletter," and
Mhm.
then that's when you sign up for my newsletter, and then you can choose to be a paid subscriber or not, so I'm very excited. This is a new platform for me, and I would say I think Substack, maybe it's 3 years.
Mhm.
Substack is fantastic, and this is my new newsletter, they're my new newsletter platform, and it's so cool. I love this platform so much, Danielle. They recommend you to. I have 2 signups today, not in my paid group yet because, of course, they're just learning about me, but 2 signups because it's almost like they function like a platform in the sense that they share out. Hey, hey, so and so, you might be interested in the Social Butterfly Group, Karen, and they share it
Okay,
to them.
cool.
Yeah, it's
Substack.
really, really cool. Yeah, Substack, it's
Oh,
amazing.
I'm gonna have to look
Uh,
into that.
yes,
That sounds
it's like
wonderful.
I don't wanna okay, I have a MailChimp too, so I'm not gonna rag on MailChimp. Um, I love them, and they've done a lot of great things. So and if you're on there, they are fantastic. The
Yeah.
reason I had to change was because I was on Review, which was Twitter's, newsletter, but Elon Musk is closing that, which
Mhm.
is fine. It's not if I owned Twitter, then I could make the decisions. However, I did not have $40 billion yesterday whenever they sold.
Oh god.
And it's kind of funny. I'm kind of glad it happened in the sense that it made me have to make a choice. And then this thing allows me to have a free version and a paid version. So it's kind of like Patreon meets newsletters. It's really interesting, Danielle.
Mhm,
So cool.
mhm. Ooh, that sounds awesome.
I
So
love
tell
it.
me then, for our audience of singers and musicians just going into the
Yes.
new year, you always know
Yes.
like the latest and greatest things going on. What are like maybe 2 or 3 just absolute musts that they should be doing as far as like maybe a particular platform or
Mm,
certain kind of content or what are some like hot tips?
hot tips. Woo! Listen, I think YouTube Shorts is the tippity top above TikTok. What is happening? So I would put them
YouTube
in first and
Shorts.
second position.
Okay.
And
Ah,
that's
okay.
because number one, so YouTube is going to start monetizing shorts, which is unbelievable. Because right
Mhm.
now, for example, I have a client who their shorts views are so fantastic, but they're not counting towards monetization, but
Okay.
it's going to start.
Yeah.
And of course, they are like everyone in competition with TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say if you're a musician, you want to make long form video, put it on YouTube, and then cut that baby down into shorts or even and vertical
Mm.
video, friends. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I'm telling you, vertical video is going to reign more
Okay.
than any other style because it's easy to look at on our phones. If you really think it through, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So it's possible that, maybe when you're filming, what you would want to do is, do the landscape style and then make sure that there's some shots that would work for just portraits because right now it hasn't changed yet, but right now it's still 60 seconds for a YouTube short, but
Mhm.
that's plenty of time for someone to hear your music and get excited about it,
Yeah.
so I would say that. And then TikTok is going to be upping the ante to 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's
Mhm.
crazy.
10 minutes for all creators coming in 2023. So
Mhm.
now you can do your whole song, without
Mhm.
having to go live.
Yeah.
Um, and then you want to the other thing that and this is for everyone, but of course, for my beautiful musician friends, please, for the love of God, get an email list going. Please.
Ah, yes, yes.
Please. And you know what?
Mhm.
I don't care if you got a book and you're all, what's your email, sir? I
A
don't even
clipboard.
care. I do not care. Just right. It's going to be, it's on the napkin that you stick in your pocket. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't care. Right. And
Yeah.
if you need help figuring out a better system than that, I've got ideas, but I'm just saying that get yourself an email list so that you can tell your beautiful fans, here's my newest song, here's my newest thing. And I'll tell you, even if you can get phone numbers, I'll tell you, girl, I have a client right now. He is working on an album for a smooth jazz album. His music is so beautiful. And he texts his core people, it's playing right now. Can you go listen? Can you comment? Can you
Mm,
stream it? So sometimes I'll just let it play in the background if I'm doing something else, just so that it's helping. And I can tell, I'm sure other people are doing that too. So when you're releasing an album, what a great idea if
yeah.
you have, because texting is so instantaneous and
Mhm.
fast. Of course, as always, my friends, just ask permission and just make sure that your people don't mind. And
Yeah.
remember, as the receiver of those texts or emails, remember that if it's not the right time for you, you can just you can delete or ignore. It's okay. That doesn't mean you're mad at your friend. You're just busy in that moment. But you don't
Yeah.
have to, think, why are they sending me this? But because you gave them permission. So
Yeah.
I want to remind both sides. Ask permission and then be gracious and say, okay, this isn't for me today, but I'll look at it tomorrow or whatever, right?
Yeah. Scroll on, scroll on.
Scroll on. But those are the I think those are the biggest things. YouTube is going, it seems saturated, but I'm telling you, people are watching YouTube more than they're watching regular TV.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think so too. You're well, I'm sure you know the data on it, but that's probably true.
Yes.
But that's good to know. I hadn't even man, there's so many things out there that I'm light years behind all of it, but I didn't even know there were YouTube shorts, but good to know. Now I do.
YouTube Shorts are incredible,
Yeah.
and they're an incredible vehicle. Yes, if you look at it, Danielle, you're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, this is the ticket."
Yeah. What rock have I been living under? That's so good. I wanna ask you too, before
Yes.
we wrap up those tips
Yes.
is tell everybody what the importance of having the email list. I mean, because we have all our, followers and everything on social media, but what's
Mhm.
so important about having the actual email address?
Well, the reason is because and and it's why I go back to everyone has an opinion about what Elon Musk is doing, but guess what? He owns it and we
Mhm.
don't. So while he may ask our opinion, it really doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
may feel frustrated with any of these platforms, with the things they're doing and how they're sharing things. But the fact of the matter is, you don't own it. They are graciously, and I'm going to say this a little tough love here, right?
Mhm.
These platforms are graciously allowing us to share our information and share our music, share our businesses, share our things essentially for free. Back
Mhm.
in the day, if you wanted a magazine ad or a TV ad, I mean, those things were not attainable
Right.
for the average bear in any way, shape, or form, right? So,
Mhm.
that being said, since we don't own those platforms, we do not own those audiences at
Mhm.
all.
They could be taken away in an
Instantly,
instant. Yeah.
instantly. If the algorithm bot thinks you're off or you said the wrong word or you did this or that, you could be out. So, you want to get those precious, precious people who are following you. And they are indeed, that's a precious commodity. And I want
Mhm.
everyone to think about it like that. That is a commodity that you have worked for and earned. So
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you're taking care of that. And so you want to get those emails and ask every week that there's your post every week. Done. You have one post done every week. Friends, if you would like to know what I'm doing, please DM me your email. I will take good care of it. Make sure you have all of those unsubscribe things that are it's GDPR in the UK. It's coming
Mhm.
here more where we have to make sure that people have a double opt-in so that again we're asking permission
Yeah.
to enter their technological space. And
Mhm.
then after that then you can tell them all the things.
Yeah.
And you can talk and you can speak and you can put up videos in any way you want with no ramifications because the algorithm doesn't exist. It's just you.
Yeah. Yep. Good advice. That's great.
Yay.
You are so smart. Everybody, please go check out Karen's Instagram and jump in that group. If it sounds like, if you feel like you need more guidance in 2023 on what you're putting out there, hopefully everybody who's listening is working on their dream project for
Yes.
2023 and is going to need all kinds of help promoting it. So I can't encourage everybody enough to work with Karen because you are just a wealth of knowledge and you're so on top of it. You always know the latest and greatest things. And I'm always so excited to hear I just learned about YouTube Shorts just now, just this
Yay!
minute.
I
But
feel
I
so
learned
excited
something
about
new.
that.
I
I
know.
love that. And it
I
reminds
learned
me, keep talking about things, keep
Yeah,
doing it.
I know because a lot of times when we talk about a certain thing till we're blue in the face, we think everybody's just sick of it and
Truth,
has heard it all, but really
truth.
we're all floating around in our own worlds all the time and we have very little like actually sinks in. So you've just got to keep
Yes.
the same goes for your music that you're putting out there. You may
Yes.
feel as though you're just slamming people over the head over and over again with your music, but really, how people be scrolling all day and barely stop for a second. So just keep putting it out there, just stay on the radars. But so speaking of music, I really want to dig more into your musical background.
Mm.
And if you would take us to your beginnings, how you got your start, if you were coming from a musical family, where did it all begin for Karen Michaels?
Oh my gosh. Um, I did not come from a musical family, although I came from a musical family of lovers. That's for
Mhm.
sure. They loved music so much. I started piano lessons, at like 7 or 8, I think.
Mhm.
And it's the craziest little story. The short version of it is that in the 4th grade, I guess, I realized that there was a choir. And so I went to my teacher and I said, I would like to audition for the choir. Little did I know. She was like, audition? There was no audition, but I was already in that mode. And
Yeah.
so I played and sang Your Song, I think it was, or something like a Elton John song.
Oh, wow.
And they like it was all pandemonium and fun. And so my parents were like, okay, all the lessons. And then fast forward to I was in the Young Americans.
Wow.
And that's how it's funny, Danielle. Tonight, oh my gosh, literally, I think 10 or 12 of the people that I was in the group with are going to be there tonight, including my husband was a Young American. So that's really crazy. I was a citrus singer in California, and I was the first female student director of the college, which is
Wow.
always so wonderful. And Citrus Singers was truly what I think put me on the map in terms of music and performing. We performed all over the world, and we performed in Hawaii on the regular.
Mhm.
And that's when I really learned about set lists and gigging and all of that kind of thing.
Mhm.
I worked at the Grand Ole Opry in Opryland.
What?
And I lived in the South for about 2 years. I loved that job so much. That was the best.
Wow, that's exciting. How
That was
fun.
so fun. I was in I Hear America Singing. Anybody out
Mhm.
there if you were in that gig? Um, what a great show. I sang Blues in the Night and so I mean the band was amazing. It was a live orchestra,
Mhm.
5 times a day. What a crazy time. I know what a crazy job that was. Live singing, live dancing. I was Knott's Berry Farms Cameo Kate for years. My husband was Dakota Dan.
Wow. I love that.
He's a singer too. He's doing the straight life right now. Not singing as much, but and so all
So
during
did
that
you 2 meet
we
what
did.
what group did you meet at?
Well, so the Young Americans had this cool dinner theater that after because you could only be a Young American until you were 18, because it was obviously 12 to 18 or
Mhm.
13 to 18. And then afterwards you could work at this dinner theater called Tibby's Music Hall. Oh my gosh, there's so many memories.
Mhm.
And Dennis and I met there like years later. We were never in the
Mhm.
group at the same time.
Okay.
We were not in the group at the same time. But anyway, so we met there and then did various and sundry shows. We did a tour together called the Riverboat Ragtime Review. Oh my gosh, it was a national tour of like the Great American Songbook. Oh,
Wow.
that job was one of my favorites ever. It was so good.
Oh,
It was
wow.
so good. And then I mean, gosh, and then we moved to Vegas because Dennis opened the Paris, and it was a singing waiter job. And then I was hired 2 or 3 months later, and we did that for years until that closed, and then I ended up leaving and beginning on because I was always teaching voice and gigging on the side.
Mhm.
And then I started to do that, um, more,
Yeah.
obviously, and then we had, baby. So I was like, "How do I work at home and make money?"
Yeah.
And and then all of that, right? And then all the, like, really, really focusing on my personal music journey, singing with Dangerous Curves and doing all the singing pianist stuff, which
Mhm.
is really just I love doing that. So, yeah, what a
Mm.
crazy, crazy time it's been, but
Yeah,
lucky and wonderful and lifelong friends and all that amazing stuff that comes with the music world, right?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you've had such a great career, and,
Thanks.
just knowing you being able to kind of, see what's going on, more often in your life and all the projects you're involved in, you're just, there's no signs of you slowing down or, you are just
No.
I love how you live in a space of inspiration and you just act on it. You're very driven and just have so much energy and so much zest for life, and you're just always going after it, and I love that so much about you. And I
Thank
look at all the
you.
cool gigs that line up for you, and I think that is why, when you keep that sense of just, I don't know, when you keep a sense of I don't energy for what it is that you're doing. It
Mhm.
doesn't become a grind or you don't get too jaded about what it is that you're doing. What do you think it is in you that just kind of is that just you, or, how do you keep
Um,
motivated like that?
it's funny. I do think that it comes naturally to me. It's still something I work at. I mean, sometimes people are like, "You're always happy." And I'm like, ask Dennis that question. But but I mean, I while I do work at it, but I work at it from the perspective of, I'll be honest with you, Danielle. I'm a very big proponent of words mean everything.
Mm,
Even when I'm feeling whatever, not skinny enough, not young enough, not whatever the heck enough, I really try to reframe that thought and, well, you know what, let's get up and go for a walk tomorrow. Or why don't you get up and lift some weights? Or I don't know, or what do you mean you don't know those songs? Let's learn 2 new songs tomorrow. Let's learn Olivia Rodrigo's song or whatever.
mhm,
And I really think that the best thing that I have done for myself besides keep the faith, the literal faith,
mhm,
is I'm really particular about words and how I'm speaking to myself because
mm,
it's so
mhm,
easy, and believe me, there are many times that I do not and have not spoken to myself in a way that is loving and good. And I
mhm.
try to remember, you know, I wouldn't want my friend to talk to me like this, so why am I allowing myself to talk to myself like this? That is crazy. That's a
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, it's so important. I mean, you have to imagine if there were some person outside of yourself telling you, giving you this message over and over again,
Yes.
it would affect you. You'd start to believe those words.
That's
And the
right.
same goes for yourself. If your self-talk and the way that you're, um, if, I don't know, internalizing things for yourself makes a
Right.
huge difference.
It
And I think
does.
you get to choose what that language is.
That's right, Danielle. That is exactly it. And I mean, that's why I try to tell my son all the time, hey, watch what words you're saying.
Mhm.
They have so much more power than even we all realize.
Yeah.
And so conversely, when you start saying, like, I have very specific mantras that I say to myself about things that it works. It
Mhm.
really works. And those are the kinds of things that I just welcome everyone to think about that and know that you can control the thoughts, now it doesn't come easy, and it's definitely a practice,
Mhm.
and we have to practice it all the time.
Yeah.
And when we're tired and don't feel like it, that's when it's really hard.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it's that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. That's such a good reminder, and just I think a lot of times people don't really believe that you can control what these thoughts are. But there is a podcaster who I really love. It's his name is John Deloney. It's the Dr. John Deloney show, um, and he gives this reminder all the time and kind of proves how it is that we can control our thoughts. And he tells the listeners to, close their eyes, picture an elephant standing on your driveway, and then now picture them wearing a yellow hat. Now picture them wearing roller skates, and just, he kind of gives all of these visuals, and then he says open your eyes, and he says, I just proved that you can control what it is that you're thinking about. It's you've
Ah.
got to intentionally self redirect those things, and that, inevitably, it's not that you can't so much control the thoughts that pop into your brain. It's how much are
That's
you
right.
going to indulge them, and at some point, if you've got a reoccurring trauma or thing that just really is resounding in your head, at some point you've got to be able to say nope, nope, and just redirect those
Exactly.
thoughts towards
And
something else.
it's so true, Danielle. And my husband and I talk about this all the time. I recommend therapy to everyone. I've
Mhm.
gone, I want to
Yeah.
go back again in 2023 because the
Yeah.
world is not easy. It is not easy.
No, it's
And
not.
and even with, reading things, and we know logically we can and should and all that junk, but
Mhm.
sometimes we need outside assistance. And I just can't recommend that kind of thinking enough as well. We
Mhm.
all need, that sort of support system. For me, it's my family, it's God, and it is therapy when I choose to go. And those are really important factors, I think, to staying sane, especially in this world. It can get crazy, and it can get dark out there. But I think we all came through. I mean, I still am astounded at what happened, of just a couple years ago, and here we all are,
Mhm.
and we're working through it. And so I hope that I can encourage anyone to, if you're ever feeling like you can't, I can't control this thought, I don't like it and I don't know what to do, just go talk to someone, a
Mhm.
professional, about that.
Oh, yeah.
Don't, put that ego put that ego in your purse or in your handbag or in your cute little gig bag, and head on out to get someone who can help you think through that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm 1,000% on board with that for sure. And before I'm going to ask you one final question, but before we
Yes.
do that,
Okay.
just speaking of, uh, therapy and just
Mm.
your self-talk and everything, I think I want to bring this full circle to how you and I are associated, and that is, again, the mastermind that you and I are a part of.
Yes.
And this group of women are like insanely powerful, and
Unbelievable.
I think it's also a good point to be careful about who you're surrounding yourself with and the words that people
Absolutely.
speak into you, because
Yes.
I'm so grateful to know you, and that, well, thank
Right
you for
back
coming
at you,
on
sister.
tonight and taking the time to do this. I know you got plans tonight, but just, thank you for being a part of a group, and, sharing yourself so
Mm.
openly, and um, everything that you have poured into me personally, having gone through probably the hardest year of my life this year.
Yes.
I don't know
Yes.
what I would have done if I didn't have women like you just constantly pouring into me every day, encouraging me, and just setting an example. Everything that you do is just such a shining example. Your energy, your work ethic,
Love
your kindness, the way you treat other people, the way you care about other people, it's huge. And I just want you to personally know how incredibly grateful I am to you. I love you so much, and
Oh,
thank you for
Danielle,
being with me tonight.
I thank you for such lovely words. My gosh, I feel everything you just said about you, how you're inspiring me, and your work and your children and your family life. And it is monumental what you are doing, and you, my friend, are the inspiration, and I am so honored to be even just a small part of that.
Aw.
And I agree with, I mean, as we know, like the six, you are most like and most affected by the 6 or 7 people
Yeah,
that you hang around the most. And
so
so we
true.
must choose those people so smartly. And lucky us that our little Thursday group, woo,
Woo!
telling you,
It's a doozy.
it's a
It's
doozy.
it's pretty awesome. Well, you great. I mean, obviously, I just hope I have established for everybody tonight that you're a wonderful person to work with, so talented. I'm grateful to be in your space, if not just one time a week. But to close things out, would you answer my final question of what makes you unstoppable?
Wow. I'm going to say what makes me unstoppable is the positivity that I bring to the table that is not fake, and
Mhm.
it comes with tears, and it comes with frowns and grit. It's what I think of as the real level of positivity, which is we can figure this out, we can get through this, and
Mhm.
we will do that, especially if we're together.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that, Karen. Thank you so much.
Yay.
Thank you for being here with me on the final episode of this season, saying goodbye to 2022. We'll be saying hello to 2023 next week. I'm super excited to get a new season going. There's lots
Yes.
of exciting things happening with the Unstoppable Singer, and I
Oh, I
can't
can't
wait to
wait to
share.
see Danielle. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see all the wonderful things you bring to all the musicians. Everyone needs you so much. We're so
Aw.
grateful. Right back to you, friend.
Oh, thank you so much, Karen. Well, happy New Year to you. Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year to
Hope you had
you.
a wonderful holiday season, and that
Indeed.
goes out to everybody listening tonight. Thanks for being with us. Be back here next week with another episode, another inspiring singer. So I hope you all end the year on a high note.
Love it.
Amen.
Love
Okay.
it.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Bye.